Hello everyone, welcome back to Mugadyan Kane. So in this video we'll be discussing about chemical properties of metals. This is the second part in which we'll be discussing chemical properties. So this is metal plus water. So what will happen when we react a metal with water? There can be two things that can be formed. If the metal is very reactive, then the product will be a metal hydroxide. If a metal is very reactive, then the product will be metal hydroxide. But if the metal is not so reactive, then it will be an oxide. So we would need some examples to look at this. So the first one, as we already did it with the oxygen and oxygen reactions, when we burnt metal in the presence of oxygen, we found out that sodium and potassium are the ones which burn the most vigorously. So let's see what would happen. So sodium and potassium are those metals. So we have sodium and potassium. These are those metals when we react them with H2O. These react with cold water. This H2O is cold water. This is a liquid state. This is a liquid state. And this is a cold water. So these react with water in cold state. Na and potassium react with cold water to form sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. Plus it generates a lot of heat. So we have sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide that are being formed, and it generates a lot of heat. So this heat generated, and also another thing that it generates is hydrogen. So the heat generated in this case is so large that this heat flames H2. Meaning when we react potassium or sodium with cold water, it is a highly exothermic process in which a lot amount of heat is released, and this heat release is enough to combust hydrogen gas. So in this case, in water as well, we can see that potassium and sodium are on top of the reactivity. They are very reactive. Then we have calcium. Calcium also reacts with cold water at liquid state, and it also forms calcium hydroxide and hydrogen gas, and it also generates heat. But it does not react very vigorously, so it is not very dangerous, and the heat generated is not enough to burn hydrogen gas. Meaning it is vigorous. It does react with the cold water, meaning it is reactive, but it is not as reactive as sodium and potassium. Hence we keep it below calcium. So our next is magnesium, aluminium, zinc. Correct? But instead of magnesium, let's just take magnesium. So magnesium also reacts with H2O to form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen. But this H2 is not cold. This is at room temperature. This is normal temperature of water. So Mg reacts with normal temperature of water to form MgOH and H2. Meaning Mg is less reactive than Na, potassium and calcium. So Mg is less reactive than all three of these. Mg is less reactive. But the case is aluminium, zinc and iron do not react with water in liquid state. They react with steam. So we have aluminium, zinc and iron. These react with water, but this water is in the form of gas, which is steam. So these react to form their respective oxides. So highly reactive formed hydroxide and less reactive formed oxide. So we get aluminium oxide, zinc oxide and ferrous oxide, Fe3O4. So we get these three oxides, which is this is Fe3O4. So we can now see that aluminium, zinc and iron are less reactive than magnesium. So, and we in the previous video saw that iron is less reactive than both of these. So we can get, after magnesium, aluminium, zinc and iron.